up some music using my computer. Would you like to see? It's just like playing any other instrument, but on the computer I can put musical notes, which are these little dots here, inside these coloured boxes, and then I can make a nice pattern with the coloured boxes and rearrange the music. It sounds complicated, but actually, like lots of things, once you have a try and a practice, it's actually very simple and it's really good fun. Do you like how it sounds? It's music that I'm making up. Oh, I'll just turn it off. It's music that I'm making up for another story. Hope you enjoyed our story last week. Well, it wasn't really a story, was it? It was really just a recording of me going on a walk to a farm. But it reminded me of one of my favourite stories. The story of the town mouse and the country mouse. I'm going to tell you it today. But also, a long time ago, I moved from living in the town to living in the country. And it was a big change and things were very different. That's what this story is about. It's a story where I'll need lots of help from you because there's lots of different sounds in the story and I'll need you to help me to make those sounds using your voices. The story is called The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse. Once upon a time. Can you say that with me? Let's say it together. Ready? Once upon a time, there were two mice. One lived in the town and the other one lived in the countryside. One day, the country mouse decided to ask his friend, the town mouse, to come and visit. Well, town mouse had never been in the countryside before, so he was very excited, and as soon as they arrived, they went to explore the countryside. Country mouse was showing him all his favourite places. They were walking through a field when a family of cows put their head over the wall and went moo. Can you do that with me? Moo. Moo. What's that? Said town mouse, because he'd never seen cows before. Don't worry, said country mouse. Those are just cows. They're there every day. They continued on their walk, and a few fields later, they came across a family of meh, sheep. Can you be sheep as well? Meh, meh, bah. What on earth are those? Said the town mouse, because he'd never seen sheep before. Don't worry, said country mouse. That's just a sheep. They're always noisy like that. So they continued on their way. In fact, they walked all day long until town mouse was starting to get used to all the unusual sounds of the countryside. But then, out of the sky, came a big bird making this sound. Caw, caw. Can you do that? Caw, caw, caw. What on earth's that? Said town mouse. Don't worry, said country mouse. That's just an eagle. Quick, run! So the two friends ran as fast as they could, and they didn't stop till they got back to country mouse's little nest, which was at the bottom of an oak tree just at the edge of the woods. For dinner that night, country mouse made delicious nuts and berries. They sat and ate them, and country mouse thought it was delicious. But town mouse, well, he thought the nuts were a bit hard and the berries were a bit sour, but he didn't say anything. Then they snuggled up in country mouse's little bed. In a moment, country mouse was fast asleep. But town mouse, well, he couldn't sleep at all. The bed was a little bit rough and hard for him, and all the noises of the countryside were even stranger at night time. Up in the oak tree, there was an owl hooting like this. Toot, toot. Can you do that with me? Toot, toot. What's that? Thought town mouse. In a nearby stream, All the frogs were starting to come out to play. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Can you do that with me? Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. What on earth is that? Thought Town Mouse. And the tree itself was swaying in the wind, and the wind was making the old tree creak like this. Creak, creak. What on earth's going on? Thought Town Mouse. And the next morning, he decided to do something about it. Country Mouse, he said, why don't you come and visit me in the town? It's not at all strange there and much nicer. Oh, okay, said Country Mouse, because he liked an adventure. And the two friends set off to visit Town Mouse at his house in the town. As soon as they got there, they went out to look about the town. Country Mouse had never been to the town before, so he was all ears and all eyes. They were walking down the street when suddenly a fire engine came round the corner. Nee-no, nee-no, nee-no. Can you do that with me? Nee-no, 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 nee-no. What on earth's that? Said Country Mouse. Don't worry, said Town Mouse. It's just a fire engine. They walked on a bit more, and cars were honking their horns in the street. Beep, 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 beep. Toot, toot. Beep, 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 beep. Toot, toot. Can you help me with that? Beep, 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 beep. Toot, toot. Beep, 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 beep. Toot, toot. What's that? Said Country Mouse. Don't worry, said Town Mouse. That's just car horns. They're like that every day. They walked a bit further until eventually, from behind the bins, up jumped a big tabby cat. It said, meow, meow. Don't worry, said Town Mouse. That's just a cat. Quick, run! The two friends ran as fast as they could, and they didn't stop until they arrived at Town Mouse's house, which was a little hole in the floorboards at the bottom of a baker's shop. That night, for dinner, they had cream buns and cake, which Town Mouse thought were delicious. But Country Mouse wasn't used to such rich food, and it gave him a bit of a sore tummy, so he wasn't feeling very well. And when they went to bed that night, Country Mouse thought that Town Mouse's bed was far too soft. When it got dark, he couldn't get to sleep, because the big clock in the baker's shop kept going tick, tock. Can you do that with me? Tick, tock, tick, tock. Oh no, said Country Mouse. There was a tap in the kitchen that kept dripping. It went like this. Drip, 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 drip. Can you do that? Drip, drip. Country Mouse put his paws over his ears, but still he couldn't block out the noise. And the neighbour's dog next door kept barking and howling through the night. Ruff, 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 ow! Ruff, 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 ow! Can you do that? Ruff, 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 ow! Ruff, 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 ow! I've had enough, said Country Mouse. And as soon as it was light, he thanked Town Mouse for being so kind. But he walked as fast as he could back through the town and out to the countryside, and he didn't stop till he got to his own little cosy nest. That evening, he fixed a meal of nuts and berries, and as he ate it, he smiled and thought, adventures are great fun, but there's no place quite like home. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. Hope you liked that story. It's a good story. And as well this week, I've made another recording for you. This time, I've been on another walk and visited somewhere else. Now, I've sent the recording to your teacher so you can have a good listen. Listen very carefully. See how many different sounds you can hear in it, how many creatures you can hear in it, and see if you can work out whereabouts I've gone, because I haven't gone to the farm this time. gone somewhere else. So I hope you enjoy that. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye bye.